Steve and Gareth and myself. So I hope you enjoy. So lads, let's get started. Absolute shite first half as we saw last Saturday. So pretty similar in that respect, but a great second half. So let's go with Grizz. What was your view on the match to get us kicked off?
Mirror image of Huddersfield, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty much similar. Team selection wise, I think it was pretty much expected. He was, the team he picked. I did think young Robertson might. Is he young? I hope he's young. Young Robertson might get a game at left back. But apart from that, the selection was fine. I don't know what it was. It's just we were just too cautious, too careful with our passing, too slow with our build up that first half. And I think you could see the way Klopp just ran into the changing room at halftime. Did anyone get a glimpse of that when he just ran into the changing room at halftime? I think he gave them a bright fucking kick up the backside, and it seemed to have worked, didn't it?
Yeah, no, it definitely, from my point of view, definitely worked for the second half. Gareth, what was your view of the first half?
Again, lads, failing to break down teams again, which is the same old with a Jurgen Klopp setup, boys. The issue with myself, I feel, is this constant 4-3-3 thing, lads. I think we need to start changing up every now. Now, listen, we know Klopp is not going to do that, but we need to start getting smart against teams like this, because teams now come to Anfield. Now, in the second half, in fairness, we varied it up a bit. We got a lot of crosses in, and it worked. In fairness to Alexander, his crosses were perfect in from that side. Moreno, for me, still needs to add that to his game. He did play one ball in that was very dangerous in the end. But in fairness, the second half we did go wide a fair bit. In fairness, with the two boys overlapping.
Cool. Steve, what was your view?
Yeah, same game as Saturday. There was literally mirror image. Took a while to break them down. It was always going to be the way. They got bashed 7-0 at home 2 weeks ago. They weren't going to come out with the same tactics. 5-4-1 for the whole game. It was just a matter of being patient. The first half was poor. Well, we didn't have a whole lot going forward, but kept the ball well, moved them about a bit, and took the goal well when it came.
Yeah, and okay, next, sticking with you, Steve, what did you think in general of Klopp's team selection from the off? Like, were you happy with the 11 he put out, or?
Yeah, well, I think it had to be they had to play the first choice from 3 as it is with injuries at the moment. At the end of the day, we might have beaten them 7-0 2 weeks ago, but it's an important game. It was an important 3 points tonight.
Yeah, especially given the
context
Sevilla
of the Spartak.
Yeah,
exactly. So it keeps us top of the group. It means now that we win, we get a result, get a draw away in Seville, and then we win our last home game and we're through.
Yeah.
So tonight was important. So the team selection was decent enough. Like, it was, well, you couldn't ask for much more, really.
Yeah, and Grizz, what about the first goal? Great touch by Salah for the goal. Like, you couldn't ask for much better. I'd been criticising himself before the goal myself, because he had been a bit, missing chances yet again. But still, the goal a game, nearly the lad's on at this stage. He's just absolutely brilliant.
It's pure mental with Salah, isn't it? It's mad, because he's so infuriating. He's probably going to end up with like 25 goals for the season. And
I think he's going to be our top scorer.
Yeah, but for a wide man, that's insane. That's like Cristiano Ronaldo levels from when he was playing wide. I know he plays through the middle a lot, but yet when we see every game, because as Liverpool fans, we kind of tend to overanalyze sometimes. But when you actually watch every single game of Liverpool, you see that he has, on average, about 3 great, I'm talking great chances a game, where you think, finish that. Just finish that. And it's so infuriating. But yet, as you said, it's what a return already. Brilliant cross from young Trent. And it was just one of those crosses where you just need to get a touch. The pace was such on the cross. All it needs is like a touch towards the goal. Do you know what I mean? So those type of finishes I sometimes tend to think they're fluky because you can't really direct them when they're at that pace. You just need to get a touch and then hopefully go. Because if it goes straight at the keeper, the only way the keeper saves that is if it goes straight at him. Anywhere to the side of him, that's in. And lucky for us, it was right in the corner, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right. So just a quick one. Say that Phil is fielding any questions on Skype. So if anyone wants to join in and send us any questions, feel free to do that. So Gareth, what was your view of the first goal?
Well, I'd say, lads, if you've seen me praise Salah a lot this year within the group. I have to say, from a guy who's come from playing wide in the four for the last 2 years with Roma, and then obviously before that with Fiorentina as well, I have to say, guys, he's been a revelation. His finishing, it is poxy, but let's not forget he's been an out-and-out winger for the last 2 years, boys. 3 years if you want to include the Fiorentina stint as well. I have to say, boys, his work rate is impeccable. His positional discipline is off the wall, in fairness to him. He, as I said, work rate. The guy never stops. His pass rate, very, very rare you see him playing loose balls. In fairness, but the only thing that if he wants to get to the next level, and Jesus, in fairness to him, he's 10 goals already.
Yeah.
It's
a scary next level. Yeah.
It is a scary next level. But the next bracket, if you want to call it that, the next bracket of player, that finishing, it could cost you in games, as you've seen sometimes this year. He's hit it straight at the keeper or whatever, when he could have put it to a side easy enough. But I tell you what, guys, he's certainly paying back his money.
Steve, what do you think of the first goal?
Yeah, as the lad said, without going on about Salah much longer, the ball in from Trent was absolutely top class. It didn't need the cleanest. There was no clean connection. It came off his shin. It didn't come off the outside of his foot like he was trying to get. But it was brilliant. The ball in was brilliant. It's something that Trent gives us that Gomez probably doesn't, and maybe Klein doesn't either.
Steve, do you reckon that's why he was started tonight?
I reckon he was started tonight because of the opposition, but
yeah,
I think he's going to start in the Champions League. I think that's.
I don't think
he starts next week against Seville.
Yeah, I also think I was reading on Twitter yesterday that Gomez was carrying a bit of knock yesterday as well. So why risk Gomez when we have Trent to come in? So
it was going to be the game. The game tonight was going to be a game where you had 70+% possession.
But Gareth mentioned that Moreno doesn't whip crosses in as much as Trent. When they both play at the same time, it's quite a contrast because you notice Trent always looks for that whipped in cross where Moreno tries to link more with kind of if Phil's playing with Phil or Bobby tries to play little triangles on that side. So I think it's a quite good mixture. I think if only we can secure that sort of central defensive areas for us, and if we had a DM, those two fullbacks could, fingers crossed, could bloody be playing on the fullback areas for years for us. Do you know what I mean?
It's a nice mix, Chris.
It's a nice mix, yeah.
I just feel that in games like tonight in the first half, that for me cries out, as a coach myself, that for me cries out for someone like Robertson, right? Someone who has, when he's played, has whipped balls in non-stop. Now the only issue we have there, Grizz, is that there's no number 9 there. 100%, yeah, because Bobby just keeps dropping short. He's infuriating the life out of me lately. He drops short all the time looking for a short ball, and there's no one in there when the ball's been whipped in. And in fairness, Salah gets in there obviously on the first goal, and the crossing, as Steve said, is impeccable. That's what we should have been doing more of in the first half.
Yeah. But what about the fact that in the first half, Firmino was very unlucky to score. The keeper made an absolutely brilliant save.
Amazing save, yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying about Firmino, and but in fairness, his work rate, you can't fault him from that point of view. I know from his return as a striker is not the best, but as he brings other players into play, and that seems to be what Klopp is looking for. He's not too concerned about goal return, to be honest.
Listen, I'm not Klopp, James, right? And you know, he's not going to go onto Twitter and look what we think anyway. But at the same time, you know, it cries out for a number.
Speak for yourself, lads.
It cries out for a number 9 in there all the time. There's ball after ball getting whipped in around that box. Sturridge's goal is a pure example of that tonight. Ball gets whipped in just outside the 6-yard box. He takes it down and he smashes it in. That's where someone needs to be.
Definitely, definitely against teams that park. Do you remember? Look, we think sometimes we're the only team that opposition park the bus against. Right? United had this for years. Chelsea had this for years. Every top team has it. When you're playing at home, the low opposition will always park the bus. Right? Now, if we remember, apart from going through the middle and scoring their lovely, brilliant goals from the central areas, how many times do we remember Beckham, Neville, whipping crosses in and them getting and their strikers get on the end of them? Because that is one way of beating.
Constantly broke teams that way. Yeah,
that's the way to do it. If you can't, we try. If we know we've been critical of Klopp having this one way of playing and being stubborn about it. But I thought near the end of last season, do you guys remember after January, February, he did change it for a few months.
He did. We definitely played that bit.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Steve. It was out of necessity, but I did expect more variety in our attack. Do you know what I mean? Like in terms of different ways of playing, especially with the purchase of Big Dom.
Yeah, he's 19, 20-year-old kid. He's not Ruben Nistelrooy.
No, but he deserves a chance. I mean, especially in a game like this, right? I mean, Maribor at home. Just beating them 7-0.
Well, if you look at Klopp's comments in his press conference yesterday, he basically said, we will be taking these very seriously. He kind of hinted he wouldn't be dropping many players for the game, and in fairness, he was proven right. We were nil. It was 0 all at half time. So if we'd put out a weakened team, so to
we might
speak,
be winning at half time.
Well, we might have been, but at the same time, we might have been.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
So it is the Champions League, and I think 7-0 was kind of they haven't been hockey that kind of level by other teams. So, I think we had to give them a certain level of respect, which we did. And then we got 3 goals. Look, if we win every game between now and the end of the season 3-0, I don't give a fuck, to be honest. So.
No.
Lads, I think there's someone going missing here tonight. I have to say, I thought Ox did very well tonight. Committed to people. Really drove at people from the middle. We don't really have people to do that. Chan can do it on a very rare occasion. But he really drove at people. He drove at angles. He drove forward. 1 or 2 loose passes. But listen, every player is going to play 1 or 2 loose passes unless you're Javi or Iniesta. Anyway, well, I have to say, he did impress me tonight, boys. He does get a lot of stick, obviously, because obviously the last minute signing or whatever you want to call it. But he actually...
going on that guy, I actually think tonight is the kind of game that you see the value of having Chamberlain in the squad.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Yeah.
He's played that way for years under Wenger, where it's all quick 1-touch, 2-touch passing. So
couldn't agree more with you guys.
Yeah, to have him against a side that's playing 10 men behind the ball, that's where his value comes in. I thought he was quite decent tonight.
To be fair to him, he's been quite lively last few appearances, hasn't he? His last 15-20 minutes he's been coming on.
In fairness to Klopp, Grizz, I think Klopp even made a point of it in his press conference today, and he doesn't really do that about players. But he did say, he was impressing them in all the games he played, in training, his attitude, and the way he'd been committing the games. I have to say, I thought tonight he was very well. Did very well, especially as Steve said, against a side like that. You need someone to commit people from the middle. You need someone to open up the game a bit, and he certainly opened up a lot of space in that midfield at times in the second half.
All right. Okay, guys, we have a question here from our audience. Umera wants to know why we can't accept Sturridge is the emperor of the team and not in a cool Star Wars way. So,
oh gosh, go on.
It was good to see Sturridge tonight. It was.
Yeah, it was. It was.
He took it. That's 2 and 2. So
2 and 2 exactly.
Yeah.
How do you need to change the way you play with Sturridge in the team. Sturridge gives you something completely different from Firmino or Mane or Salah, whoever it is. And it's hard to adjust for the team to adjust because you have to change the completely style of play because you're not getting the work rate or the running or whatever it is. But in saying that, Daniel Sturridge fits or a goal a game. So is it worth? You have to think it might be worth looking at changing the way we play for certain games.
Listen, there's a few arguments out there for Sturridge, and we all know that. Obviously, let's take the injury thing out there straight away. Like the weekend, he scores a lovely finish. Can he play 2 games in a row? Possibly not. We don't know that. We don't know that. In fairness, we're not on the periphery, so we don't know that. Tonight again, he shows. He comes on. He get in around the box, bang, finishes it. He looks a little more confident. Certainly has a little bit of a spark about him. One thing I will say is, lads, number 9s need games, and if you want him to go on a run, he needs to start games. Or in fairness, he's come on and done it tonight as well. But you can't, if you now then drop him again and don't play him at all in the next game. You might as well not have him near the squad because his confidence will nosedive. You'll put him on in a game after that and he won't score. Fans are getting his back. Fans will be on Twitter going, he's shit, he's this, he's that. He needs a couple of games, and I just hope, and it looks like it, that he's going to give him more and more minutes now because he knows what he can do.
I'd start him against West Ham.
100%, yeah. 100%. Move Bobby out, possibly move Bobby out Wood.
Oh God!
I would.
I kind of hope Phil was back, to be honest, because Bobby out wide is so fucking ineffective. It's untrue. So let's just bring it back because we haven't even talked about that second goal, which is a thing of absolute beauty in my opinion. I thought Emery did so well.
The missed penalty first.
What?
There was a missed penalty in between.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried to avoid that.
So well, let's just drop back to that for 1 minute. Like, who is our penalty taker now? That's now Salah and Milner, who have both missed.
I say give it Lovren.
Fuck off, you.
I'm serious. We're giving everything else to Lovren. He's got player of the month and everything. I say give Lovren the captaincy and the penalty duties. It is a thing to worry about. Because suddenly, from being known as penalty pool and sort of so efficient from the penalty spot, we're now suddenly looking around the team every time we get a penalty and thinking, who the fuck's going to take this? I think Sturridge, if Sturridge was playing, I think Sturridge would be probably the most confident in terms of grabbing the ball and taking it. But again, I don't think he's the best penalty taker in the world.
Hasn't he missed one before as well, Chris?
He has, yeah.
In fairness, most of the lads we have missed it. I'd probably go with Bobby if he's starting.
Yeah, I would as well. But we'll go on. I'm going to come out with something stupid. I think. Do you know what confident striker will? Because look, let's face it. We all know. I mean, Gareth will tell you from being a coach. It's all about confidence. You give the penalty to the guy that you think's the most confident is having a brilliant game in a situation like that. And Trent, I would have loved to give it Trent.
I would go back to the fact that, like, why the fuck did Salah take that penalty on Saturday? Like, surely he's not our penalty taker.
He just scored one the week before, didn't he, for Egypt?
I know, but come on, like
but that was the most flukiest blast down the middle,
exactly.
He's on the crest of a wave, lads. His confidence is flowing. He's just got his country to a World Cup. As a player, lads, you can't. He picks the ball up. He wants to take it. You can't do anything about that. He's confident.
I agree with Gary. I had no issue with taking the penalty on Saturday.
No, I did. I think it was a pure emotional decision. I don't think he grabbed the ball, guys. I think Klopp kind of said, "Yep, you're our penalty taker." Decided straight after watching that clip of him playing for Egypt in sort of thousands of miles away, and he just, it wasn't a confident penalty, guys. It was a nervous smash down the middle. When you look for a penalty, you got to look for a confident slot home. I didn't agree with it. I thought it was a very emotional decision from Klopp.
It possibly, and sure. Look, that's beside the point now at this stage. I think. Let's bring it back to tonight. So we had obviously Milner, who we thought was captain reliable. and he missed the pen, and then let's bring it on to the second goal, which I have to say, beautiful ball by Milner and Emre Can just with a fantastic finish. So, Steve, what did you think of that goal?
It's something that we've seen before from Emery. Remember the Villarreal goal? Regi's goal against Villarreal 2 years ago, where it's the same thing. Emery's very good at driving forward and playing 1-2s. Tonight was great. The finish was super. The touch from Milner right into his path, didn't have to break stride, open up, and it was a lovely little pass into the corner. It's something that we don't see enough from our central midfielders.
Do you remember he scored one against Bournemouth like that, but in the top corner, like similar? Yes. This one he kept along the ground, didn't he? But that one he's like kind of same side foot into the top corner. Do you remember against Bournemouth? Yes. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, so you can do it.
That pass, lads. That pass just opened up the whole lot for me. It's just perfect. It happened over here, and it goes wide. That pass was just a lovely little 1-2 wall pass.
I was just gonna, Gareth. I bet you've set up those kind of drills in training all the time.
It was lovely, Grizz.
It was just a perfect drill, wasn't it?
We actually just did it tonight. You know that, and I was just laughing. I'm gonna review it to the boys over the weekend and go, "There you go, lads. That's what you're practicing."
That's how you do it. That's perfection.
These are small kids. Don't forget, Grizz, at the same time. But as Steve said in the Oak, that he used to do that as a kid.
Yeah.
So, I suppose we've done quite a bit on the positives, but Jesus Christ, Matip, fucking hell! Is that fucking Everton to score a fucking corner?
I'm glad you got there. Glad you got there, Jay. I'd love to talk about his defending.
But the fucking corners, every fucking game is a chance to win, score, and just bounces off his fucking mallet head and never even gets close. But,
James, the funniest thing is he doesn't even defend him like that in his own box.
True.
No, but for me, my issue is, look, again, how bad are our centre-backs one-on-one against anyone? He doesn't have to be good or strong or fast. One-on-one against our centre-backs, they're going to walk past them. And that is so crucial to the way Klopp sets up his team. But how Klopp doesn't see that he hasn't got the defenders to play that system is becoming worrying for me.
The big problem is the concentration levels are through the floor.
Yeah.
And 90%, Gareth, anyone that's played any level of football will tell you, if you're playing in a team like that that's completely dominating a game, 90% of your centre-half's game is concentration. Because there is going to be a point in every game where no matter who you're playing, they're going to have a breakaway, they're going to have a half chance. At one point, he goes with their centre forward and takes out Can, which ends up with one of their players getting a shot.
Yeah.
It's just pure concentration levels, and it's the same issue with Lovren as well. The concentration levels are through the fucking floor.
And what do we think of Karius? Given that he had fuck all to do, the one save he had to do.
In fairness, there was one that came in from Matip's mistake where Matip ran away from your guy. He came in from our left hand side.
The right foot.
Runs away. As Shane said, he ran away from him. And in fairness, Matip gets he gets a lovely. Karius got a lovely hand on it. And it did take it a couple of inches off their forward that was running in. And then he makes a good save, guys, from being unsighted. So the two jobs he had to do, he generally did all right. In fairness. So you can't say
I thought that one where he had to go low on his left hand side and then he caught it and then he got it back out and we were on the attack straight away, whereas we know Mignolet would have taken 5 to 10 fucking minutes before we'd actually kick the ball. So that his distribution I thought was very good from that.
As we know, lads, it's a horrible position for any football team to play in net for Liverpool. Jesus Christ, if Neuer was in net for Liverpool, we'd have an issue with
it. True. Okay, we have a question in here from Ray Dickinson, who was supposed to be on with us, but due to technical issues is not. He said he wants to know, do we win the group and do we get Real Madrid in the next round?
Yes, we win the group. We get a draw away to Seville and we beat Spartak at home.
Yeah, that's my view as well. Anyone else differ on that?
No, I think we win the group, and I couldn't give a shit who we play against in the next round. As long as it's not PSG, I think I'm not scared of anybody else. PSG are scary. Okay, PSG are playing at a level above anybody else. I don't think we can get Man City, can we? Because of the all English rule or something, isn't it? We can't get Man City in the next round.
No, we can't. We can't get an English team in the next round.
No, so
quarterfinals, guys, isn't it?
Yeah, so there you go. So then, apart from City and PSG, I'd over two legs. I wouldn't.
Two legs. I think we beat City.
I wouldn't fear. No, I'm saying I wouldn't fear anybody. I mean, try to avoid City, maybe.
Yeah.
You don't want to play another English team so early. But apart from PSG, nothing out there that fears me over two legs, and that's being honest. Honestly, brutal.
No, I agree with
that.
Real.
Yeah, Real Madrid.
No, they're in terrible form at the moment. Hey, listen, they got a qualifier. I think. Are they qualified? They don't guarantee that.
They've Dortmund, they're 5 points clear of Dortmund. So.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah, but they terrified the life out of me. Come February, when they kick back into form, they be them PSG would be the two sides you want to avoid.
And they always do it, stay, don't they?
Yeah, I would have said Madrid. I would have said Madrid about a month ago. I did say that actually.
Yeah,
in the first Euro trash. Yeah.
Yeah, Madrid are second in their group, so yeah, that's if we won their group, that would be one that we definitely want to avoid. I think.
They wouldn't worry me over two legs, honestly, lads. Our pace would frighten the shit out of them.
Sure, it's grand at the moment. Red Bull Leipzig are going out, so we get Naby Keita in January. So we're all sorted in the field.
No, but he can't play. He can't play for us anyway.
Oh shit, he can't play before yeah, bollocks. Okay.
It's alright. We've got James Milner. He's doing a fantastic job. Honest, no, I'm not joking. Listen, I'm not joking. He's got his fair share of shit coming his way every fucking season and whatnot, right? But he's doing an okay job in there. You know, we're gonna have the Invisible Man missing for a few weeks now, right? Ginny, right, with his ankle. Phil ain't fit.
Okay, that's a question for you lads. Hendo, I thought he was okay.
He didn't have to be. He didn't. You know, he was all his job was in there. Jay was to sit and turn over play. That's all his role wasn't there. Chan's job was to go and attack it, open up the game. Ox obviously the same with his pace, open it up in tight spaces. All his job was tonight, Jay, was to sit and hold and to play angle passes. You know, he can't do that more than that. And as fans who don't really understand the game, and it irritates me at times. Yes, he's not as mobile looking as he was. His heel is obviously in a bad state and can't be fixed by the looks of it. But you know, he's in there to do that job. He done that job okay tonight. Listen, lads, let's not forget what opposition was in there tonight. You know, we could have had anyone in that centre mid tonight. Put a young lad in that centre mid in that position as a holding midfielder, and they'd have been smoking cigars all day.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to third goal. We actually scored from a corner. Kel's, massive surprise there. I think. Did we do it against Huddersfield as well? Second game in a row, we've actually scored from a corner. So
we've done it 2 times. We've done it 2 times.
But we actually look threatening against Huddersfield, and I was trying to work out: is Huddersfield poor at set pieces, or have we been training and practicing our set pieces? Did we look suddenly dangerous?
Well,
I couldn't work it out. You know.
Well, if you go on the thing that, that we've scored from a corner twice in 2 games, like you have to say Sturridge's finish was fantastic. He took it really well. He took one touch and then he smashed it in the net, and that's the level that Sturridge brings to you. He will just bring the ball down. And we have a lot to be positive about, I think, from that kind of point of view. We've a couple of lads still to come back into the team, so it's not looking too bad. West Ham before the international break.
I think West Ham's crucial, isn't it, lads? West Ham is absolutely crucial, especially with the other the top guns playing each other. I think it's City, Arsenal, Chelsea, United, isn't it? Yeah, that's the one. So West Ham for us is absolutely vital that we get 3 points. And if we do, all right, suddenly things are looking so much rosier than straight after the Spurs game, aren't they? Because straight after the Spurs game, we had like four very winnable games with Huddersfield, the 2 Maribor games, and West Ham. And everyone said, look, it's a minimum of 4 wins. And then we assess where we are after that. Because I think, Gareth, is there an international break after?
Yes,
exactly.
For the qualifiers, yeah.
There you go. And then we get the boys back, the Manes, the Coutinhos, the Lallanas. It's happy days, man. Happy days. I tell you.
All right. We've got another question here from Ray and Phil. So just a query about, I didn't notice myself, but a few lads noticed it. How did you think the atmosphere from the crowd?
Very, very low, wasn't it? Very subdued.
It was always going to be. I mean, I think the crowd in there was expecting more than kind of sort of. It was like anticipating like another 6-7, wasn't it? And when you're playing when you're playing like that, when you're in a ground like that, I've been there myself. When you think we should be scoring any second, and then just when you don't, you can sort of sense the frustration, can't you? Until that first goal, I think it was always going to be a bit awkward, that atmosphere.
Well, personally, I never expected us to come out and smack them 7-0 again. To be honest, I thought they'd be more, keyed in, and they were. In fairness to them, so
I'm not sure, lads, of what our fans. Obviously, we know what our fans support our sides, but as a team, as Liverpool fans, I think the expectation, that we have at times, is off the wall. I think we expect to go tongue teams at home at Anfield. We expect to be, in the top 4. We expect to be winning a trophy. Lads, some people need to get real and sort of think where we are and where we have been and where we're trying to get to, And it's something that kills us as fans, is expectation at times,
I kind of agree with that, but I would kind of, my viewpoint will be top 4 is the actual minimum we have to achieve this season, because we have to consolidate that whole Champions League.
Without a doubt, James, without a doubt.
Yeah. So, okay. What else? Anything else that anyone kind of wants to pick out of that game that we've had tonight? Anyone from performance point of view or lack of performance?
Go on, stay. Is there?
He's still awake.
Well, as Gareth just said, you need to take
the reason why I've gone to you, Stay, is because, honest to God, your voice, I'm loving it. It's the first time I've done a pod with you, and your voice is ridiculously sexy. Carry on, lad.
Jesus, Steve, coming on to you. Fucking hell.
He's not the first.
1890 Steve Brown.
I tell you, this is normally the time I log on to Babe Station. Fuck that. I don't need any more.
Oh, Jesus Christ, great.
Go on, Stay. Go on.
You were saying, put your trousers back on, please.
You were saying, hey, listen, you got a problem. Hey, listen, you go. Just because you can't take them tight jeans off. Hey, listen, carry on, Stay.
Look, we need to take into account tonight was a matter of getting 3 points. Nothing else mattered. There was no performance pressure. There was no pressure on anything. It was a shambles. We beat them 10-0 over 2 legs. We got 3 points. We move on to the Seville game.
Yeah,
there's nothing more to say about it, really.
Yeah, from my point of view, I definitely think if we get at the very least a draw in Seville, if we win, then obviously that's game over, Group 1. But the bare minimum is, I would love for a Rafa style performance. Not that we're never getting that from a Klopp team, but just go away and try and nick one on the break, as we did numerous times under Rafa. But God knows what we're going to get in a game away to Sevilla under Klopp.
Seville not the same, James. I'm pretty confident. Even when we drew it with them at home, I was saying I haven't got. If it meant we have to go to away to get Seville to get a result, I wouldn't put it past us because we're very good away from home. I mean, I know, I'm saying that after the Spurs result is a bit of a I sound like but no. But generally speaking, we're better. We're built to play away from home than at home.
Crazy, so, right there. I think we'll have a few players back by then as well, won't we?
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, we'll obviously have Coutinho back and Lallana and Mane maybe back, and that will make a huge difference. So, I'm fairly positive about us going forward in the Champions League. Let's go around the table and let's start with man of the match. Great.
Man of the match. I think it was Trent. Trent Alexander-Arnold for consistently sort of rampaging, attacking down that right side and whipping in some very, very dangerous balls. I mean, sometimes you think maybe create a triangle and play more because, as Gav says, we haven't got the players to sort of always take advantage of his brilliant deliveries. But give it to him, the lad persisted, and in the end, it broke the deadlock with one of his deadly crosses. I've got to give it to Trent. Yeah, I think Trent was quite lively. Moreno ran him close. Moreno wasn't too bad, guys. He was decent. And again, apart from the penalty miss, I think Milner was decent. He was okay. But I'll give it to Trent.
Steve?
I don't know. Salah, maybe, just because I love him.
I love that back heel for the goal. It's just exquisite.
Everything seems effortless.
Yeah, I know.
It's great.
Yeah, it's such a joy. I really can't wait to see when we have like him, Phil, Mane, and Lallana all together. I really can't wait to see that. I think we're going to absolutely destroy someone when we have those four back on the pitch together.
Yeah,
I think I'll go Grays on this one, mainly because, boys, obviously half time, the crowd are getting a bit antsy, and for a kid, they just keep going at a side and whipping perfect balls in, very composed. If you notice at all, not much of the play went down his side tonight. A very bad ploy from their manager because you probably would have thrown a few diagonals that way. But I have to say, for me, Arnold composed. The delivery was perfect. I don't think he done nothing wrong in the game. If honestly, every pass seemed to go to a player. For me, Trent Arnold there all day.
Cool. Yeah, no. I think I'd give to Trent as well. I thought it was a very composed game. Apart from the free kick, which was fucking abysmal. It was shite, to be honest. But yeah, no, it was a good.
But saying that is definitely, you can see Gomez stepping back in. Well, this is it. What happens on the weekend, guys? Because let's assume, or can we assume, Lovren's still not going to be playing?
I think basically, I think there was something posted last night that Klopp was talking to Lovren last night, and I think if we see him for the next 6 weeks, I don't think we will. I think all of this stuff, including all of the rumored stuff about Croatian gangsters, etc., I think this is all got for Lovren, and I don't foresee us seeing him for another couple of weeks at the very least.
Does that mean Klavan keeps his place and then Gomez comes in at right back?
Klavan in and Gomez right back for, obviously we're going to get bombarded early on set pieces, etc. And I don't, Trenty's while he's good early, or just worry against a side like West Ham. They're going to bombard you.
Yeah.
Gomez for me looks straight in,
Is Andy Carroll fit for Saturday?
Yep.
Yeah, he played last game, I think.
He played last game, yeah.
Bollocks.
Well, he usually pulls off to sort of maybe the Moreno side. So, I mean, I don't know. Klavan, How tall is Klavan, guys?
Is
he 6+?
Yeah, I think he's a 6'2", 6'3" man, isn't he?
He just doesn't play like a. How's a 6+ guy play? But you know what I mean. He doesn't look dominant, does he? Like a 6 foot type centre back. Well, saying that does fucking Matip.
Well, Matip, as we know, is an absolute, you know.
He's a tampon waiting to be used.
Yeah, I don't want to use the other C word because we've had that in our.
We need Dejan back. We need a Dejan. A similar job to what he done on Lukaku to do on Carroll. We need Dejan back. Come on, Dejan.
Fuck's sake. Yeah. Klavan, here we go. Klavan is 6'1.5".
Strange that he looks smaller.
Yeah. Well, there we go. So next game is away to Sevilla. Player. Oh yeah. So Ray's pointing out that Lovren got Player of the Month.
That's the biggest sympathy vote ever.
I think so.
The biggest sympathy vote ever.
Yeah, but guys, how does he feel receiving that? That doesn't boost him. Surely that makes him. I don't know, man. How can you accept that? How will he feel accepting that?
That 13-year-old who threatened him is going to give him the award.
Yeah, you should do it.
We should just vote. Whoever makes the most mistakes every month should get it.
No, but that is a pathetic decision to do something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's coming from the fan base. In fairness, I think, as far as I know, it's voted. It's voted on the website, is it not?
No, of course it's sympathy. Yeah, of course everyone's been told to vote for him, kind of thing. But I find it cringe, man. Come on.
Cool. Okay. So, any final thoughts on the game, lads?
No, move on to Saturday. Go get another win, boys. I think it's well winnable, that game, and we move on and try and get a little run for ourselves.
Yeah, sounds good. Any thoughts on team selection for Saturday? Obviously, we know fucking Mignolet is coming back into goal on Saturday. Unfortunately, yeah. But you can't really see many changes coming in that team. Maybe Sturridge might come in the front three, and
Sturridge definitely comes back in. I think it probably very similar to the last game with how we ended it with Klavan in for Matip. Gomez going to play on the right side, but he's going to play like a third centre back. It's going to be very similar setup and system to the Huddersfield game, in my opinion. The intriguing question is who replaces Gini. I think Emre. Probably most like Emre. Emre steps back in. Yeah, for Gini. So I think that's about it. I think Sturridge comes in for the Ox, and that's your team.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Anyone disagree with that?
No, none at all.
No.
I think that's it, nailed.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, I think that is pretty much it for tonight. Thank you very much to Gareth, Stephen, and Grizz.
Hey, you stay on the line. I'm going to chat to you afterwards, mate.
Yeah.
The rest of you can fuck off.
Grizz and Barry White, huh?
Oh my god.
Barry White.
Oh,
the Irish Barry White.
the Irish Barry White, Steve. There you go. There's a compliment, mate.
Shay, let the lads continue this offline, will you?
I know. I'm getting scared, Gareth. I don't know about you.
Grizz has the baby wipes out.
Oh, Jesus, shut the fuck up.
Steve wants to get away. I'm not letting him.